Hello, dear students. Uh, Today we are going to discuss the first topic of Unit 1 of electromagnetic theory, that is the elective subject. So, the first topic is coordinate systems, and we have to study three coordinate systems in this topic. First one is Cartesian coordinate systems, coordinates. Second one is cylindrical coordinates, and third is spherical coordinates. Okay, so in Cartesian coordinates, we have the variables as x, y, and z on the three axes. In cylindrical coordinates, the variables are rho, phi, and z. And in the spherical coordinates, we have the variables r, theta, and phi. So, we are going to discuss each coordinates one by one. Okay. So, starting with the Cartesian coordinate system. So, here we have the three axes x, y, and z. Okay, so let me mark the axes. The axes are here it is. It is the x-axis, and this one is the y-axis, and this one is the z-axis. Okay, so let me locate a point. Let's say in the three-dimensional space we have one point. Okay, a point is there. Let's say the point is P. So the coordinates of the P point under Cartesian coordinate system will be x, y, and z. Okay, so x is what? X is the point located on the x-axis, y again represented through the y-axis, and z is the distance of the point from the z-axis. So these are the perpendicular distances from the respective x, y, and z-axis. Okay, now we shall discuss the range of variables. What will be the range of these variables x, y, and z? So the range of variables will be that x, it lies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, the range of x will be minus infinity to plus infinity. The range of y will be from, it is also from minus infinity to plus infinity, and the z and the z varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. So all the variables, they lie in the range of minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so any vector, let's say I talk about any vector a, any vector a represented in Cartesian coordinates will be written as ax and unit vector ax plus ay and unit vector ay and az and unit vector az. Okay, so in this way we can represent any vector under the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so next we will move on to the cylindrical coordinates, that is rho, phi, and z. Now from here onwards, like we have to discuss cylindrical and spherical coordinate system, so everything will be with respect to the Cartesian coordinate system. That is the basic axis. We have the three-dimensional axis, what we have will be similar in all the coordinates. Okay, and later on we will establish a relation between Cartesian coordinate system and other coordinate systems. So other coordinate systems can also be discussed with respect to the Cartesian coordinate system. So in the Cartesian coordinate system, we have the three orthogonal axes x, y, and z. All are perpendicular to each other. Now, now we would locate a point. Now we would locate a point P. Okay, we would locate a point P. Let's say the existence of point P is here. Okay, now we locate a point. So now we have established the three coordinates, that is rho, phi and z of the cylindrical coordinate system under this. Okay, so how we are doing this? Now we have the three coordinates, that is first is rho, and rho is what? Rho is the radius of the cylindrical passing through P. Rho is the radius of the cylinder passing through the point P. Passing through point. Okay. Now, what is phi? Or we can say rho is the radial distance from z-axis. Okay. The radial distance from z-axis. Okay. Now, next is what? Phi is called the azimuthal angle. Okay. Phi is called the azimuthal angle. Okay. Phi is called the azimuthal angle, and z is same as in Cartesian system. Same as the z axis is same as the Cartesian system. Okay. So in this way, now we have to represent. Okay. How we can make it. Fine. So let's say we have to take a line that is the radial distance from P. Okay. And the direction of unit vector will be in this direction. Okay. Next is, now we will take the projection of this line. We will take the projection of this line on the xy plane. Okay. So let's say this is the projection of the line. Okay. Now we'll join this, and it should be parallel to the above one. Okay. And this one is pointing in the direction of z axis, so the unit vector along this will be a z. Okay. Now this is, since this is what, this one is rho, so the unit vector pointing in the direction of rho will be a rho. Okay. And one more azimuthal angle is there, and this angle is the angle between this rho and x-axis. Okay. So this angle is, can be represented here, and this is phi. Okay. So obviously the phi will be in this direction, because it is acting tangentially to phi, so it can be written in this direction. And let's say this is the unit vector a phi. Okay. Now we can see here we have created three coordinates, and all are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay. So here it is you can see here it is perpendicular, and here also it is perpendicular. Okay, fine. Now now we will rotate this plane, this plane we have formed now, and we will rotate this plane from x-axis to the y-axis, and we will obtain a shape. Like I am going to rotate, and I will try to make you understand how it is taking the form of cylinder. Okay, so let's say if I rotate this plane, then we can have this sort of arc. Okay, and then so you can see very clearly that it is taking the form of cylinder. Okay, now it has taken the form of cylinder. If I rotate it for all the 360-degree, it will be a whole cylinder. Okay, so that's why we call it as a cylindrical coordinates. Okay, now we will discuss the range of variables. We will discuss the range of variables. So we have this rho, phi and z. Now looking at the diagram, looking at this vector resolution, you can very clearly see that what will be the range of rho. Okay, so this rho vector, it can rotate, it can extend from this z axis to infinity. Okay, so obviously what will be the range of this rho? The range of this rho will be from 0, including 0 to infinity. Okay, because it is the radial distance from the z-axis to the point P. Okay, radial distance from the z-axis to the point P. Fine. Now the next is phi. What should be the range of phi? Since phi is the angle, azimuthal angle, and it is measured from the x axis in the xy plane. Okay, so phi can maximum go to 0 to 360 degree. Okay, from here to here, if I rotate this, if I rotate it from x axis, it can maximum go to 0 to, it will go to 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so its range is 0 to 2 pi, and z is, since the z is similar to the Cartesian coordinate, so its range will be similar to what we discussed there, and it will range from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, so in this way we can have this. Okay, now some more relations we can derive here, and that is what will be rho. Okay, if I talk about rho, then what will be this rho? Okay, so let's say, okay, this one is the rho. Okay, and if I try to have its components, x and y components, if I resolved it, then we can see that this rho vector, rho vector can be resolved into two components. One is like this and another like this. Okay, so we can have two components. Okay, so along x-axis, this is making phi angle, so it here it will be what, it will be rho cos phi, and along the y-axis we will have this rho sin phi. Okay, so we have two resolutions. In the x-axis, along x-axis we have the component of rho as rho cos phi, and along the y-axis we can have the component of rho sin phi. Okay, so here we can establish a simple relation between what, between the Cartesian coordinates and cylindrical coordinates. So how we can write the relation? So the relations can be, now you can see कि if I try to establish a relation between the Cartesian coordinates and cylindrical coordinates, then what will happen? This rho, okay, so x equals to rho cos phi and x equals to y equals to rho sin phi. Here we can write x equals to this rho cos phi, okay, and y equals to this rho sin phi, okay. So you know that by squaring and adding, what we can have? By squaring and adding, we can have this x square plus y square equals to rho square cos square phi plus sin square phi, okay. So since we know that cos square phi plus sin square phi, it is 1, so this x square plus y square equal to rho square, and from here we have this relation, the first relation, rho equals to root over x square plus y square, okay. So the first coordinate of cylindrical coordinate system, rho, can be established in the form of Cartesian coordinates, that is x, y, z, okay. So here we have the first relation, rho equals to x square plus y square, okay. Next, how can we get this phi? Phi equals to what? Phi equals to, now see from that, okay, phi equals to what? Let's say this one is one first equation and this is the second equation, okay. So by dividing second with first, what we get here? What we get here? We get p, we get we get rho sin phi upon this rho cos phi equals to y upon x, sorry, y upon x. So here rho will be cancelled out, so what we can write? We can write that tan phi equals to y upon x. So from here we have phi equals to tan inverse y upon x, okay. So in this way we can establish the relation, if phi equals to what? Tan inverse y upon x, fine. And z is simple, z equals to z, because the z is similar to what we discussed in the Cartesian coordinates, okay. So in this way we can have the resolution, and thereafter we will see the spherical coordinates, okay, and we will try to establish the relation between Cartesian and spherical coordinate system, and later on we can have the relations between among each coordinate system, okay. So for transformation of Cartesian coordinates into the cylindrical coordinates, now we will see how to transform. If we have the given vector in Cartesian coordinate system and we have to transform it into cylindrical coordinate system or vice versa, so we will see or we will derive the conditions so that the transformation between Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate system would be easier. So let's see how we can do that, okay. So the transformation of the transformation of Cartesian coordinates to cylindrical coordinates, okay. Cylindrical coordinates, okay. So cylindrical is your, that is rho, phi and z. Okay. Now we will see how we can do the transformation. Okay. So let's recall that let us suppose we have this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis and this one is the z-axis. See, every time whether we are going to study the cylindrical coordinates or spherical coordinates, any of the coordinates we are dealing with, so we will have this coordinate arrangement x y axis, x y and z axis similar. Okay, so that we can easily understand the other coordinate system with respect to this Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, अगर आपको other coordinate system को भी समझना है तो हमें Cartesian coordinate system का जो basic x, y और z axis होता है, तीनों axis they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So इसी के respect में हमें बाकी सारे derive करने हैं. Okay, so let's start that how we can derive or how we can derive the formula to transform this Cartesian coordinates to cylindrical coordinates. Means what we are dealing with, we are actually trying to have the conversion formula for this Cartesian coordinates to this cylindrical coordinates, that is rho, phi and z. Means if some vector a is given in the Cartesian coordinate, then we have to transform it to cylindrical coordinate or vice versa. Okay, so first we are discussing x y z to rho phi z. Okay, how we can do. So let's make it simple through the diagram. Okay, so let us consider a point. Let's say that P is the point. Let's say here P is one point. Okay, and this P is initially in, let's say, x, y and z. This P point is defined in Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, with the coordinates x, y and z. Okay, but you have to transform it into this cylindrical coordinate system, that is rho, phi and z. Okay, so if you are willing to transform this uh, vector representing x y z in the Cartesian to the cylindrical, then how we can do. So we have considered one point that is initially in the Cartesian system. Now how can it be resolved? Okay, so for resolution, let's say this point can be now let this vector is representing your rho and we are resolving this into x resolution and y resolution. Okay, now see, we have this row vector. Okay, we have already discussed about this we have this row vector and this row vector is making angle with the x-axis and that is phi. We have already discussed this. Okay, now we have this vector parallel to z-axis and that one is, let's say, z. Okay, and the resolution of this row vector on the x-axis, that is the x part, let's say it is x, and the resolution of this vector row on the y-axis is, this is y. Okay, this is y. Fine. So now we have already developed this relationship what is x equal to rho cos theta, y equal to rho sin theta and z equals to z, that we have already discussed. Okay, now since we have to transform this Cartesian coordinate to cylindrical coordinates, So we need to have the relationship between we need to have the relationship between relationship between this ax, ay, az is unit vectors ax, ay, az. These are the unit vectors in Cartesian coordinate system, and the unit vectors similarly in the cylindrical coordinate system will be a rho, a phi, and a z. Okay, so z is similar in both the cases. Now we have to obtain it geometrically. Okay, so if we have to obtain it geometrically, then let's say we have now for the dot product. I would like to remind you, for the dot product between two vectors, let's say that there is one vector. Let's say this is vector a and this is vector b. So if we will have to dot product and the angle between them is theta, let's say, just I am discussing revising the concept. So a, what is this dot product? So if we have to make a dot product a dot b, that is equal to a magnitude, b vector magnitude, and the cosine of the angle between the two. So this is important. See, if we have to do the dot product, if we have to do the dot product of the two vectors, okay, then for the unit vectors the magnitude is obviously 1 1 and cosine of the angle between the two. Okay, so here also we have ax, ay, az, and we have to develop or we have to derive geometrically the dot product of unit vectors. Okay, so what will be ax dot arrow, okay, ay dot a phi, az dot az, like this we have to derive. Okay, so let us suppose we have one matrix. Here it is ax, ay, and az. Okay, here it is a rho, a phi, and a z. Okay, so this is your ax, ay, az. This is your unit vectors in Cartesian system, and a rho, a phi, az, this is the unit vectors in cylindrical system. Okay, so and here it is the dot product. Okay, so let's say we have like this, and here it is the dot product. So ax dot arrow, what will be ax dot arrow? So let's say two unit vectors are there. So obviously if the unit vector is there, magnitude is 1 into cos of the angle between the two. So ax dot arrow means ax means the direction on the x-axis, and arrow, what is the direction of arrow? This is. So ax is in the direction of x-axis like this, and a rho will be in the direction of rho. So what is the angle between the two? Phi. So obviously what will be here? It is cos phi. So ax dot arrow will be cos of phi. Okay, so it is okay, fine. Now ax dot a phi. Okay, ax dot a phi. So let's make it very simpler. Okay, this is the direction, in the direction of rho it is a rho. Okay, and this phi in this direction, this is phi, and in this direction it is z. Okay, and all are mutually perpendicular. All are mutually perpendicular. Okay, so now see what will be the angle between this x and phi, x vector and phi vector. So this is your x vector, okay, ax in the direction of x axis, and what is the phi vector? This one is the phi vector. So if I shift it, if I shift this here, this a phi here, this one is your a phi. Now see, between this a rho and a phi, they are mutually perpendicular. Okay, so there is a 90-degree between the two. There is 90-degree angle between the a rho and a phi vector. And what is the angle between ax and a rho? This is ax and this is a rho, so phi. So what is the angle between this ax and a phi? Between ax and a phi, the angle is this 90 plus phi. So what is this cos 90? Cos of 90 plus phi. Cos 90 plus phi, it is in the second quadrant. Okay, so we will get this minus sine phi. Okay, so this ax dot a phi will be what? This will be minus sine phi. Okay, and this ax dot az, see, ax and this az means x and z axis both are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the angle between them is 90-degree, and cos of 90, that is 0. So here we will write ax dot az 0. Okay, fine. Now similarly this ay dot az, this one is also 0. Okay, we will write in advance. And az dot az, see, az and dot az, so both the unit vectors are in the same direction, so angle is 0, and cosine of 0, cos of 0 is 1, so az dot az, that is 1. Okay, now we will fill the remaining places. So ay dot a rho, how much? See, ay in the direction of y axis and a rho, so what is the angle? See, it is 90 minus phi. This one is ay and a rho. Between this ay and a rho, we have this 90 minus phi angle. This angle is 90 minus phi. So cos of 90 minus phi, that is sine phi. So we will write here sine phi. Okay, now what is the angle between ay and a phi? Ay dot a phi. So ay in the direction of y and a phi, so angle is, here it is the angle is phi. So we will have this cos phi. Okay, cosine of the angle between phi. Now az and a rho, what is the angle between this az and a rho? Okay, now see, az and a rho both are mutually perpendicular to each other, so it is 0. Now what will the angle between az and a phi? Again this az and a phi both are mutually perpendicular, so it is cos 90 0. So in this way we have geometrically obtained the unit vector transformation. Okay, so we have got this. Now ax dot a rho cos phi, ax dot a phi minus sin phi, ax dot az 0. So like this we can convert it. Okay, okay, now any vector, see, if any vector is there and we have to transform it. Okay, now any vector is there, let's say any vector a, and this a vector is defined in Cartesian coordinate system, so we can write it ax in the direction of ax plus ay in the direction of ay and az in the direction of az. Okay, fine. Now this capital ax, ay and az, these are representing the magnitude, and this small ax, ay and az, they are representing the direction. Okay, So similarly, if I have to write this A vector in the cylindrical coordinate, so what we will write? I will write A row A x, sorry, A row in the direction of row. Okay, so unit vector will be according to it. Now A phi in the direction of this phi and A z in the direction of this z. So in this way we can represent any vector. Now how to transform it? If we have the vector A given in this Cartesian system, okay, and we have to transform it into the cylindrical one, then how we can transform? Okay, so with this formula we can very easily transform. Okay, this ax dot arrow, when even if we have ax dot arrow or arrow dot ax, the matter is same. Okay, so we will have this cos phi. Okay, so we can write it in matrix form h, this one. We can write this in matrix form. So in matrix form, in matrix form, if I write, so this will be a row a phi a z equals to what we have derived, it is cos phi sin phi 0 minus sin phi cos phi 0, and it is 0 0 1. This is ax ay and az. Okay, so now if we have this ax ay az, that is we have been given the vector is given in Cartesian coordinates, so we can, with the help of this unit vector transformation which I have discussed just now, we can transform it into this. Okay, so how we can write it? So a row will be your a row will be how much? A row will be this ax into cos phi, ay into sin phi, and 0 into az, and like this we can write. So a row will be what? Ax cos phi plus ay sin phi and plus 0 into az 0. Similarly for a phi, it is very similar, the product multiplication of the matrix. So here it is minus ax and sin phi. Okay, this cos phi into ay, so it is ay cos phi, and this az can be written 0 into ax 0 into ay, so only z component is there, so az equal to this az. So finally if I have to write this vector in cylindrical coordinate system rho phi and z, then how we can write it? We can write it, okay, this arrow component, a row in the direction of this row, and here in the here in place of arrow we can put this plus a phi in the direction of a phi, and for a phi we can write this in the place of a phi, and then a z, and z is same. So in this way we can have the transformation from cylindrical Cartesian coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system, and thereafter it will be more clear when we will solve the examples or numericals on this transformation. Okay, so before that we will discuss the spherical coordinate system. Okay, thereafter after this we will discuss the spherical coordinate system, and then we will discuss the mutual transformation between the three coordinate systems. Okay, so this why we are actually studying these things, because it will help us to understand the it will be convenient for us, or it will help to understand the systems having circular symmetry or cylindrical symmetry. That's why we need to study this coordinate system. Okay.